Welcome back to another video. This video is going to be like my most used art supplies, you know, the ones that I always have in my pencil case and the sketchbooks that I always use, because I've had a lot of questions asking what kind of sketchbooks I use, what kind of pens I use, all those kind of questions. So I thought instead of trying to just like list it all off, which would be like a massive long comment, which would be really awkward to read, I thought I'd just show you everything I use. So I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get to all these art supplies. Okay, so first off I'm going to start with sketchbooks, because people always ask about sketchbooks, and I'm going to show you the different ones I use, because I'm that kind of person that swaps sketchbooks a lot. I don't use like using the same sketchbook over and over. Even if I find one I really like, I tend to like to mix it up. So I like to work in different sizes, different papers. Because the first sketchbook I used to use a lot was a Morrison's ordinary sketchbook that was £1, and it was very cheap paper. So I have them, but they're just off in a corner and it's kind of awkward to get them. So we're going to start with this one. I recently just finished one of these, and I can say I really liked it a lot. As you can see, it's a Crawford and Black sketchbook. It's from the works. It's £1. It's really cheap. The paper is quite thick. Now I don't know how this will take alcohol-based markers, because right now I use water-based all the time because that's what I like, and I use a lot of Crayola, and this paper seems to take it really well. I can draw on both sides of the page, so I really do like that. I can show an example of like a page. So in this one, this is the one I just recently finished. There's a page in here where I really went overboard with the colour. So as you can see, I put quite a lot of colour on the page, and on the next page it didn't bleed through, or you know, you couldn't even see it. So, and again with this page, really thick colour, and me really pressing hard. Well, not too hard, because obviously you don't want to press too hard, you break the pen, but you know, putting a lot of colour on, and again didn't bleed through. So I can really recommend these sketchbooks. They're really good, and as I said, the works, £1, they're really cheap. You don't need really expensive books. You can get them, but if you just want to practice doodling about, I suggest a cheap one first. And again from the works, these really pretty sketchbooks, though they are notebooks, but they've got plain paper, and this paper is fairly good. If you put a lot of colour on this, it will slightly show through the next page, but again I've been able to draw on both pages, on both sides of the pages just fine. And these were £3, so I still really like them. It's still a really good price for a sketchbook of this quality, or notebook, journal, whatever. Because I don't think it's classed as a sketchbook, it's classed as a notebook. But I really like them. I've got quite a few, and I haven't even finished the first one, so I've got to finish that other sketchbook. For my storyboards and everything, I use any kind of like small journal with plain paper. I got these from Asda. They don't do them anymore, I don't think. I think it's up to the individual store now. But these were £1.50 because they're on sale. They have like nice cream coloured paper, and I just use these for like my comic ideas and writing and storyboards. So yes, I can recommend these if you just want like something to muck about in and doodles and everything, because it was cheap enough to do, and it's really nice. It's a really nice size. It's kind of like narrow. Yeah, it's kind of like a different, unusual size, and I really like this one. Whoops. Oh. This one I've only just started. It's Wilkinson's cream paper journal. Again, it's not a sketchbook, it's a journal. I tend to like journals more. And it was £3. I do like it, but I find that I can't draw on both sides of the paper, because if you see, it does actually show through quite a bit. So I still like it. I still really like it, but it just means I can't draw on both sides of the paper, which I kind of like to do, but at the same time, that's fine. You know, it just means I get through the sketchbook quicker. But yeah, again, I think this is up to personal preference whether you want to draw on both sides. It's a nice cream-coloured paper that doesn't hurt your eyes, because I find white paper can sometimes be a bit harsh on your eyes. So we'll have to see if you know, if you want to get this. They still do these, which is good, and it has like a nice thing that keeps it flat, so I do like it. And yeah, but again, if you want to draw it on both sides, I recommend the Work sketchbook. And another Asda one, they don't do these anymore, so you might find something similar, but it's like an off-size journal, like business jotter it's called. It has like cream paper, it has a folding pocket at the back. From what I tell, they don't do these anymore, but you might be able to find them. And again, I use it for storyboards. Like, I have another one that is full of like an old version of my new comic. So yes, if you can find it, I'd recommend it just for doodling and just for mucking about in, you know, if you just want to doodle fan art in it like I do. So that's all my sketchbooks. So we're going to go on to the pens now. So I'm going to go on to sketching tools now, what I normally use to sketch. And I don't use pencil a lot, but if I do, I use a Faber-Castell. It's just a HB, it's a grip one, and it has like a little rubber thing that you can buy, and they go on the top of your pencil, so it's like a better rubber than the ones you normally get on pencils. I normally use this if I'm going to go back and ink it, because it's very light and I don't want dark pencil lines, so that's what I normally use if I sketch something and then aim to ink it. So I use that, but I also use these Staedtler Ergo soft pencils. Now these are really good because they have an anti-break system, so that you see that white around it, that keeps it from breaking the lead, so it's really good. I like these. I used to colour with them a lot, but I don't colour with pencil anymore, but I want to try and change that. But yeah, I do recommend these. They have a really nice rich colour and they're very soft, and I do like them for very like loose sketching, so yes, I do like those. I tend to sketch with these as well, not as much. I used to do a lot more with them, but this is a Faber-Castell jumbo grip highlighter pencil, I think. Yeah, that's what it should be. Again, it's got nice colour, it's very soft. It's nice to grip because it's a bigger pencil, so I do like that one. Also, for sketching, I biros. Biros are my true love in life. They're the only thing I will use in my sketchbook because I just love biro so much. And I like biros where they're not, you find some biros that ink is very fluid and it comes out and it's a bit blotchy. Whereas I find that cheap biros, really cheap ones, tend to have a lighter ink thing, so you can actually treat it as a pencil. Now these two I got from where was it? Asda, yes, Asda, and I got 10 for 25p, so that is very cheap art supply. I recommend 10 out of 10. I love biros. And then these, oh, there's the lid for that other one. These I got from a college. They were free. I don't know how I have so many, but there you are. I don't actually remember taking them unless somebody put them in my bag for me. I don't know, but again, really like biros. I really like the shape of these as well, but you know, just if you're at a college day out where they have those open days, get some free art supplies. I love biros. Biros are the best. On to inking supplies now. Just so you know, I also use biros to ink my drawings as well. So, again, my love for biros knows no bounds. But I recently got back into using fine liners because I've been using like a type of brush pen for a while, which I'll show in just a minute. But I've got back into using fine liners. I like this brand, Staedtler Tri Plus. I suggest not using it with like any, see, it's got a really nice fine, they come in all colours. Don't use it with water-based markers or alcohol-based. I haven't tested alcohol-based with it, but I wouldn't suggest it because it does run. It runs with my Crayola and my water-based. It's good for just sketching and just inking. Don't try and colour with it. It doesn't work. I love it a lot, but just don't colour on it. However, I find that this one, that's Staedtler as well. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Staedtler pigment liner. I like quite a thick line with my drawings, so I really like this one. It's just a Staedtler pigment liner. This one you can use water-based markers on it. I've tested it. It seems to work. You know, I don't get any ink smudge or anything, so what I do suggest though is letting the ink dry. Let it dry first. Don't be like me. Don't be impatient. Let the ink dry first and then colour it. But yes, I really like that, and I recommend it. I like it a lot. Next, my favourite ones are the Zebra Feud brush pens. They come in 3 sizes: fine, normal and medium, I think. And I like the fine ones. Yeah, it's focusing. I really like the tips on these because you can get a thick and thin line, which are really nice. I love these a lot. They come in all different sizes with all different brush tips, so there we are. I really like them. Probably my favourite size is the grey one. That's how I recognise it, is the grey. It's a really good in-between brush. Though for really tiny details like eyes and noses, I don't suggest using this size. I suggest using the fine one. And as for using it and colouring with it, you can do it, but I suggest being really, really careful because I find that they can smudge ever so slightly and it just makes your picture look a bit mucky and smudgy. But other than that, I really like these. And if you really like inking, I suggest these. Also, if you really don't like inking, I suggest these because I absolutely hated inking. And then I found out about these from a friend. I bought them thinking, oh, I really hope I like them. I love them. I love inking now. I love inking more than sketching. So there you are. The best. They really like you make inking. Did I say that right? I'm not sure. But yes, really good. I can't express my love for them enough. They're great. Although I do want to try other like fine liners and brush pens, but these are my go-to. They're great. Okay, on to colouring supplies, and I have quite a lot of things that I like, so I'm going to quickly go over the watercolours I use. I don't use them often, but these are the ones I use. They're just Reeves. I've had them years and years and years. Yeah, I don't really know any other watercolour brands that I've tried. I haven't tried any really, so these are the only ones I can say. I like them. They're a little bit chalky, a little bit, but it's fine. You know, I mostly use watercolour to just spruce up my biro sketches anyway, so, you know. Highlighters. I colour with highlighters. I've used them in quite a few sketchbooks because I don't know what it is about highlighters, but as you can see, I just use them to colour in big gaps of a page if it looks a bit empty. I use really cheap ones. I got some from a pound shop, you know, like 5 colours. My favourite though is probably the Faber-Castell one. I think it's a text liner, that's it. As you can see, it's really big, it's really thick and grippy. I actually got this as a free gift when I ordered pens on a website, so it was a really good gift because I always use it. So yes. Also, I also use the Crayola. I think these are highlighters, I'm not sure, but I got them for £1 at a pound shop and then I never saw them again. So you probably can still get them, and I do like them because they do have like really thick tips, which I like. And I just like them for just putting in like a big chunk of colour in a drawing, so that's what they're really good for. Whoops. There's just like a pile of pens growing. Onto more expensive like pens, colouring pens. One of my favourites are Tombow dual brush pens. If you can have a look at them, they've got double ends, so I never use the ends, which is really annoying, but you know, I'm trying to force myself to use the tips. They have really nice brush tips, really good colours. I really like getting like a more expensive brush pen, because when you buy a pastel colour, it's actually pastel. Because that's the trouble with water-based markers, is that they usually come out darker than the colour of the lid, which can be a kind of disappointing, especially when you want to colour something in pastel. But I really like these, I really like this brand. The only thing is, I find that the brush tips are very dry on this one, so that's the only downside. But other than that, you know, if you just want to colour with them, you know, they're great. I really like them, they're really good. As for another type of brush tip, water-based marker, that's it. But again, these are brush tip. They're Zig Art and Graphic Twin. They have like the little nib and then the brush nib tip. I actually like the brush nibs on these a lot better because you get more colour in a way. The colour is very, very intense and really strong, and it's like much more painterly in a way, but you still get like the nice colours. Like this colour is actually mint, that colour, and it's so nice. And the reason I really prefer water-based markers is that you can get more effects with them. I mean, you can with alcohol-based, but my one problem with alcohol is that they stink. They stink so bad. They really do. And I've had a lung infection before, so I'm kind of susceptible to that now, which is kind of annoying because I would like to use alcohol-based markers, but I can't. And also my mum is very sensitive to the smell, and it can give her really bad migraines, so you know, it's just like I can't use them. The cons outweigh the pros with them, but with these I get a very similar effect, and they're cheaper and they don't stink. So again, I really like these, they're really good. Yes, I really recommend them. And we're going on to like the last few bits, like miscellaneous, but the last colour thing, Crayola markers. Just Crayola markers. They're great, they're fun, they remind me of my childhood because I always used these, and I used them in college on all my assignments because it's Crayola. You can't go wrong, you can't go wrong. The only thing is the pastel colours do come out darker than the colours on the lids, which I'm kind of sad because I would love a marker that colour. That is a beautiful colour, I love it a lot. But again, yeah, you know, lovely colours, and Crayola is a good brand. And it's cheap. Like, I got like a pack of 50 for £9. So, you know, there you are. There you are. Oh, onto my other favourite kind of like felt tips, really. These are Stabilo, and they're the graphic pen. They're kind of just like felt tips, but they're very, very nice. And I got them in the brightest colours I could because I just love mint. I love mint, and I love like bright, eye-searingly colourful pink. So yeah, I also have like quite a nice skin tone, and I do have some other colours, so yes. Okay, so it's kind of like the lightning round now for all the like misc stuff that I use. I only have one of these. It's a Faber-Castell Pit Brush pen. It's got lovely colour. I only got it recently. I want more. I use this for doodling. It's a Beryl Fine tip in black. Again, I use it for doodling, but it does kind of bleed, so you have to be careful with what paper you use. I still really like it though. For like adding special effects to my drawings and fancy things, I use a variety of like gel pens. I have a Signo Uniball in fine, a Signo Uniball thick. It's a broad. It's really good. It has really thick white ink, so that's really good. I have some Sakura jelly rolls in some odd colours. I don't know, I really like pink and like that really bright orange pink. I have Signo Uniballs in gold and silver because I really like adding gold to my traditional artwork because it gives it like a fancy edge. Signo Uniball in red it is, but it's actually like a pink, so yeah, it's a gel pen. Stabilo coloured fine liners in, you know, specific colours. A Kuretake water brush. Basically you can fill this part with water, and this is your brush, so you don't actually need like a cup of water or anything for your water for your painting, so it's really good. It's really good for like travelling and on the go. And finally, a Staedtler coloured fine liner in, I think it's mint green as usual. So that is actually all the pens that I use every day, almost every day, or the ones that I like the most. So I hope that was helpful because I have had a lot of questions about what I use and, you know, what sketchbooks I use, so hopefully this answers the majority of questions. So yeah, so you should be able to find these in like art stores or definitely online. Online you can find a lot of this, you know, they're all over. They're really good pens, they're what I like, but again, you know, it's all up to you what you like to use. You know, you can only just try things out and see what you like, because this was all just a matter of like experimenting with the pens that I like the most, you know, buying random pens, seeing which I like best, and then just putting my money towards getting a nice collection of colours, because that's important, is getting a nice collection of colours, because you kind of want some pastels, some mid-tones, and then some darker colours, and definitely grey. You definitely want some grey pens, brush pens, or, you know, stuff to shade your artwork, because it adds like another dimension to your sketches and everything. So even like with this, I use like that like Stabilo highlighter. I use it to add some shading, and it just adds another level to your drawings. But again, it's all about experimentation and what you like. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you all have a nice day, and bye bye.